These are dungeon blocks. This is a 3D printed modular grid-based gaming terrain. These tiles here, this is a piece here, are placed into grids. The grids are, you can just stack as many grids together as you want. Put the tiles in any configuration. They have these the bases that slot into the grid. The grid is 35 millimeters. And you can just arrange the grids however you want, as many as you want, print as many tiles as you want. These are spray painted with a quick and dirty paint job. Here's some miniatures for scale. This is a Primera scale Space Marine. This is a Reaper Minis miniature. And they have, this is from, I think it's called their Egypt Temple set. And what you do is you just buy the files from MyMiniFactory. They have a whole bunch of different sets. And then you just print whichever ones you want, paint them if you want, and print as many grids as you want, and then you can build your whatever tabletop game situation you want to build. I have no affiliation with them, with either the people who make the dungeon blocks or with MyMiniFactory. I just bought the files and I've been using them. I will put a link though in the description for if you want to go get these. So I used these last year to make a puzzle game, and this year I want to make another one, and I'm going to use a different set. This is they call the Infinite Spaceship set, more metallic spaceship kind of vibe. Here's just a couple of things I've been playing around with here. But I want to add something to this. Actually, one other thing I didn't say about the other blocks is the holes in the blocks they don't come with the set. I added those for puzzle game purposes. And I want to do the same kind of thing with these. I want to add some electronics. And so the first thing I want to do is add a little screen. Or a little screen like this. I'll be able to put it like maybe in the wall there somehow, right? Or in this. This is meant to be some kind of a door, but it could be a wall with a screen on it. Let me actually show you how this screen goes. So here's a little screen just with a little graphic animation running on it. So it'd be cool to have that stuck in the wall there. So I was working toward that. First thing I did was model the screen in Fusion minus the pins. So here's what that looks like. Try to just get all the important features that I will need to sort of model around. So the first thing I came up with is this little bezel, just to make sure so I'm heading in the right direction. It has a little bump outs here to go around the screen, and then comes to the bottom of the board here. And then now I need to make a back for it. I need to make them attached together. So I modeled this with little snap together tabs here. That looks like this. So if I put this here, nope, not like that. If I put this here, I need to rip these pins off. Hold on. Okay, if I put this here, then this will snap on with the little tabs. I have this little clearance for these components that are on the back of the board here. I'm actually really happy with the way that worked out for sort of a first pass. And there's clearance there in the bottom because I'm going to attach a cable to that, cable like this, so these wires can be in there and have enough clearance to be able to feed out. Okay, but then the next question is, how do I actually attach that to this piece or this piece or whatever piece I want to attach it to? I need to get that in there. And my first thought on that was something like this. So I have these angled pieces here, and I figure I can model the negative part of that angle into the dungeon block door or wall or whatever, and then basically capture that in between these two angled pieces. Here's that piece with the angles on it. The idea being that you put them together and it sort of captures a cutout in here to keep itself in. Snaps together nicely. Screen in there. But then I realize this is too tall. I won't be able to get this piece, like this front of this is going to be underneath the floor level, so there's no way I'll ever be able to get this piece in through the front. The back would be fine, but not the front. So I have to model the front part of this bezel actually into this and then make the back snap on. And so I made this this tool right here in Fusion that I can use to cut out that space. And also I have this little channel under the bottom here that allows the cable to channel through it. And then I can attach the bezel piece and get this. There we go. That's this thing, and you can see my little tab holes kind of poke through. This ended up being too thin to print right here, but you know, it's kind of working. Where's that cable? So this cable, the plug on it can feed down through there, right? And this guy can go in there. And actually, let me solder the cable on there, make sure it's really going to work. Okay, now that we have the wires attached to our little display here, let's try it, see if it's going to fit. See if the back will snap on. I think there's not enough clearance for those tabs to flex out. More violence. Okay. I need to build a little substructure to run my cables. Let's see if we can get the screen lit up here. So yeah, it works. I need to make some adjustments, maybe try to sculpt this in a little bit better. It's not really my area, so maybe I won't bother. Also, like, the screen is a little bit offset on the board, so you can see this like silver line over here, and you see how those numbers they're centered on the screen, but they're a little off to the left. Maybe I won't worry about that. Maybe the tolerances are, you know, you can only get so close with these, you know, methods and materials. Okay, I think that's about as far as I'm going to get with this today, but I still have a lot more I want to do in this vein here. So we have some RGB to put in there. We got RFID readers to put in there. We even have lasers. Going to put some lasers in there, and got some stepper motors we're going to put in there. So still got a long way to go with this. And so if this is the kind of thing you're interested in, I'll be doing more of it here, so stay tuned to this channel, and see you next time.